Hello, beautifuls. I hope you're well. My name is Epic Treasure, and this is the tour of the base after the new DLC for Palworld. If you like what you see, come like, subscribe, hit the notification button, come join the Discord channel, which has a whole entire Palworld channel just for you. So we're going to go through and do the tour here. There's going to be a whole tutorial on how to build this on the channel too, so don't forget to set your notifications. So we'll get straight to it. This main part of the building here is virtually the same as the original one pre-DLC. And it is only 1 story high, most of it, except for the bed part, which is a loft. So 1 story high is all that it needs to be. And the reason for that is for the breeding facility over there. And also to contain any pals that you summon. So even though the new content includes having this monitoring stand with detailed work preferences. So this is the stand. Remember before we just had work modes? Then they extended it later on to having work preferences. So if, for example, you want a pal who has multiple abilities to just focus on one thing only, then you can set it. You can also assign them to certain items on your base too. So if you've got for example, a bee that you want to get honey from only, then you can assign them to the ranch only, because you know the bees are going to wander off and do delivering of packages, etc. So there's that feature. But when it comes to summoning pals, you know that if you've been breeding them before, some of them are very fast. They will just zoom straight out of a door if it's open. So jet dragons, for example, just go straight out the door. Some of the kits go straight out the door too. If you're trying to summon, for example, a vendor, they will stay in this building. They will not take off out the door. So that's the reason why it's only 1 high. And also for the summoning ability for the breeding pen too. So we don't have to always go up to the monitoring stand. So for example, if we want to go get a jet dragon and we summon, see, bro's not going anywhere if you shut the door. So if you shut the door, bro goes straight out if you have it open. If we open it here, there's proof in the pudding there, we'll get the jet dragon out and you watch, he'll stay still this time, right? Because the doors are shut. So we grab the jet dragon, we go up the ramp, and we can put the jet dragon straight in the breeding box. Otherwise, bro's going to take off. So that's a surefire way to give them an absolute delivery to where they're supposed to be. And again, the same with the vendors. So we'll just get rid of these guys because we don't need them. So that is why this base is only 1 story high with a ramp. The ramp is so you don't need to open a door. You can just grab them, walk up, chuck them in the base, and off you go. So that being said, with this DLC, it predominantly revolves around crude oil. So first things first, I wanted to make a base that had everything that you possibly need, which includes crude oil. In this new area, we can see those dark patches show all the crude oil spots too. And I found this is to be the most beautiful place to make a base that wasn't sort of unattractive looking. So it's got the waterfalls in the background. It's got the cherry blossom trees in the background too. And I just thought it was the most beautiful location to build. Nice and neat, isn't it? And indeed, I've utilized every piece of this space to the utmost extent. What they've done with this new DLC is they've nerfed, unfortunately, the ability to do those quad stacking ranches or even stacking ranches at all. Remember with these things, I made tutorials on how to stack these and they were floating in the sky to make this gotcha machine. Well, they stopped doing that. So I had to make room to accommodate for everything, and I've done it successfully. So don't you worry, the tutorial will be ready. So that being said, we have 3 ranches here. So we'll be putting 4 cows in this one for the milk in order to make cakes or whatever other food that you want to make. We've got 1 for 4 chickens for the eggs, again for the cake for breeding or whatever else you want. And then we've got 4 for the bee guards, and those are for the honey. And we have to make sure that those bees are assigned to be at that farm only. We'll get to that later with the tutorial. As you can see throughout the whole base, we can see the scattered pal beds there. That's just a way that it has to be. Again, they've likely nerfed stacking abilities for those things that people were trying to sneak them in chimneys, etc. So they're just scattered throughout, which looks really nice, I think. So here we have the two crude oil machines. They're very slow, and you absolutely need these new generators, these new power generators to pump these, right? These will power these up. Really important to have. So we need to have power buoys, electrical buoys to power the generators in order to make the crude oil pump. So that is like a mandatory thing in order to level up and to get all your stuff. So over here we have our mill, and then underneath here we have the berry plantation. Over there the flower plantations underneath. So this thing's 2 levels high. Up here we have the new coal mine, the new sulfur mine. So again, we don't have to like run multiple bases all the time. This does everything. You don't have to worry about, rushing off to this base or that base to gather this or that. It has everything you need. It has a whole level 2 ore mine there too. Now, when you start off, I'd recommend having 2 of those. So you won't probably have the sulfur and the coal straight away because it is down the technology tree. As you can see over here, it's in the technology tree at level 52 and level 53 for the coal mine and the sulfur mine. So before you get that, I would put the tier 2 ore mine up there because you're going to need it, I promise you. It's going to be a big grind to get plasteel, which consists of the crude oil. And I'll get to a quick way to get to that soon. Over here, we have our crusher machine. We have our basic stone quarry. The stone mine is incredibly important because you're going to need the palladium fragments. Sounds really nerdy, doesn't it? You need the palladium fragments to put into the crushing machine. You'll need all that. So here we have the 3 tier 2 production lines. So the spheres, the production line, and also the weapon. Everybody always wants those, so I made room to accommodate this. This is the new disassembly line. So this basically gets your pals and butchers them, basically. Instead of getting your machete out, you can put them on this conveyor belt and it will disassemble your pals. So there's that. And also there's the condensing machine here. So remember, you can basically sacrifice your pals to power the other ones up. Again, my scattered cushiony things all over the place, the pals, and also my little statue, my power statue. With this egg, I've got the incubator here. You can make your settings on to 0 hours basically, so you don't have to wait for the eggs to hatch. You just click on it straight away and off you go. So that is the base. That's what it looks like. We have the 3 breeding pens here. And over here we've got the logging camp. Obviously there's a lot of trees around the place too, but sometimes you will just need a little bit of wood as you go. So I just wanted to put everything in as humanly possible. So again, more scattered cushions, etc. Inside the base, we have just basic stuff. We have 2 of these cabinets, the storage cabinet things. We have the electric furnace. We've just got a repair bench over there. We have the electric kitchen-y thing there. The pal box is here. We've got the new skin machine, the new fancy dress machine where you can put hats on your pals, you put glasses on your cats, etc. And another box here. So the boxes, rubbing them against the wall, allow you always to access the contents of them and allows you to deposit through the wall. So here, bang, we can access things through the wall. The same goes for when it comes to cooking. Always put, in my opinion, put your benches, etc., where you can access them from the outside, so you don't have to worry so much about having to run inside and having to run outside, etc. So it's a really beautiful base. Let's have a little flyover again. Again, there'll be a tutorial on exactly how to build everything perfectly with all the dimensions, etc. If you can't wait for that, you could take a screenshot of this and get the idea of it. I think the glass is absolutely beautiful. And I hope they have a lot more building materials too and a lot more decorations. That would be lovely. So here's a little flyover of the base. I hope you like it. And also don't forget the hot springs there too, the food bowl over there. There was a refrigerator there though. You don't really need it that much in my opinion. But this base is made so you do not need multiple bases. You might love to travel from base to base. You might like to. I've still got my town base over here because it's more of an aesthetic one. And then I've got that, original base that's up on the hill, which is like the ore paradise, basically. But that kind of died once they got rid of the ability to stack the ranches because, I had my beehive in there, which had those ranches stacked high just to get honey all the time. So, a bummer that they've got rid of that, but I think that 3 breeding pens is enough. 3 ranches is enough, I think. And we've got all the ore and all the mining stuff that you possibly need. I love and leave you again. Have an amazing day or night whenever you shall be watching this. Stay tuned for the tutorial. Much love and thank you so much for your support as always. Till next time.